Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Open the Lock by Brie Noel. I'm so freaking excited today. I don't know what it is, but something about this topic is like making me jump. I honestly wasn't gonna film today. I was literally so down and like I was so stressed out like about filming, and I really didn't want to, but something told me like, Brie, you gotta do this. Like, you have supporters out there who are looking forward to this video. You can't just stop and like not post a video. So I'm doing it for you guys, so don't worry because Brie's got your back. Now let's get into today's episode, Preserve Your Peace. I really would like to know how many of you guys actually know this saying, because I believe that this topic is very, very important. I mean, I feel like all my topics that I'm talking about is important, but I feel like this one is really important because of the fact that it could honestly make your life so much easier, and people would be less hateful and people would be less like down and depressed if they knew what this saying meant. I wanted to sit down with you guys today and explain to you guys what this saying means so it could possibly affect your life in a positive way. Okay. Alright. Let's get back to it. So, preserve your peace. What does that mean? Basically, to kind of sum it up, preserve your peace is basically, in a little easier way to explain it, is kind of to protect your bubble. I don't know if you guys have ever, had teachers or your parents ever tell you that all of us have like this little barrier around us, like this little bubble, and to not let people go inside of your bubble. It's literally a bubble around you, and preserve your peace is to not let people, disturb your peace, and for you to preserve that and to know that your body is literally a temple, and we should be able to protect ourselves from the people around us. A lot of people tend to have people disturb them, have people bother them. And a lot of the times, 9 out of 10 times, we like to react to that. And, we like to let the people get into us, get into our head. And so because of that, we like to fight back. We like to have a reaction, and we shouldn't be doing that. We should literally just be sitting and letting everybody else, talk. Not necessarily let them come into our bubble, but everyone's always going to talk at the end of the day. It's just your choice to let those people disturb your peace and bother the bubble that you have around you. And this happens almost every day. People always try to bring you down. People always try to talk to you, and they try to get into your little bubble. And you need to be the one to be like, no, stop. I'm preserving my peace. Like, I want to get out of the situation so I don't react to the situation. Because a lot of the times we get upset by the things that people are saying, and so we react to that, and it makes us more upset because it's not doing anything for us. It's literally just giving them more power because we're reacting to the things that they're saying. And I feel like people don't understand that. Like, people don't see that by you reacting is doing something, not even to yourself but to the other person, because the other person knows that by them telling you all these things, by them bringing you down, that you're reacting to that. So that gets them happy because you're upset about the things that they're saying, when you should be protecting your surroundings. You should be realizing that these people around you are trying to bring you down, and these people are trying to get into your bubble, and you need to not let them disturb your peace. And a lot of us don't do that. We don't care, or maybe we don't even know that it's affecting us, and we don't realize that these people are getting into our heads, they're getting into our mind, and they're playing games with us, and we don't even know it half of the time. And some of the times it could be your friends. It could be your family talking down on you. And in my case, it was my parents. Not necessarily them talking, to me, or them, talking bad about me, but it was more about the issues that they had together. My parents have gone through a really rough relationship for the past 2.5 years. I'm not trying to get too much into detail, but basically they have been on and off for, 2 years now. And it really me. They got into my head, and I was really, really depressed for a really long time, and I couldn't see myself out of there. Because I let their arguments into my head, it messed with me, and it hurt me. Because obviously I didn't want to see my parents going through this, but I let whatever they were going through, disturb my peace. It's adult problems. They should be figuring it out on their own. I shouldn't have to be the child constantly in the middle of their situations, being brought into everything, and them disturbing the peace that I have within myself. Not saying that I was already a peaceful person, and not saying that I was already a happy person, but without them doing that, if they didn't do that, I feel like I wouldn't have gone through the things that I was going through. And not necessarily that I wish that I didn't have gone through those things, because I'm very happy that I did, because, it made me realize a lot of things, and it made me the person that I am today. But I let them get into my head. I let them too, their arguments, their fighting, their disagreements, everything just in total mess with my head. and their problems became my problems. And it shouldn't be like that. The child should never be put in that type of situation. Because we're children and because adults are adults, adults should figure out their problems on their own. They shouldn't have to involve their children. In this case, they did involve me, which they obviously did not mean to, but it happened. And I continue to let it get with me. It's not even that it got into my bubble, it's that I let it get into my bubble. Because a lot of people will try to mess with you and they let it get into their bubble. And the whole point of Preserve Your Peace is to not let those people pick at you and you open your bubble and let them go through your bubble. It's your choice. It's your choice at the end of the day. You get to choose who you want talking down on you. Not necessarily who you choose to let talk down on you, but who you choose to hear and who you choose to give the time of the day to let them talk crap about you. Because nobody deserves that. Not a single person in this world deserves that. But it happens on a daily. It happens with a lot of friends. It happens with a lot of families. And in this case, it happens with my parents. Their issues, talking between each other, they would come to me. They would talk smack about each other and that would affect me. And it got me really, really upset. And it constantly kept happening again. Like, I was so young at the time and I did not understand what it meant to protect the bubble that I had. I did not have a safe space within myself. I felt like everything that they were saying, I had to listen. So I would always bring myself into the situations. I would never say like, hey, stop. These are adult problems. You guys fix this between yourselves. And you never bring the child in. But of course, I was young. I was dumb. I wasn't thinking of that because I didn't know what that meant. I didn't have people telling me these things. I didn't have people helping me along the way, telling me, hey, you need to just step out for a second and be like, hey, you guys figure this out on your own. Don't include me because it's none of my business. Adult problems are adult problems, and I believe that children should never be brought into them because it's never the child's fault. It's not the child's fault whatsoever, and it wasn't my fault. So why should I be brought into the situation? But also, if we're brought into a situation, you need to be smart enough and mature enough to be like, you know what? I am not in this. This is none of my business. So I should remove myself from the situation and preserve the peace that I have within myself. Now, that was the deal between my parents. It was kind of a little bit different from how it happens with friends. In this case, with me, with friends, their bad energy, the way they were, the way they talked, the way they thought, the way their mind worked with me. It really, really messed with me. And I let their shit get into my head when it should have never in the first place. I thought that, it's okay. They could do this. They could do that. I didn't care. I was still a part of it. And I didn't think that, hey, maybe I should be protecting my peace. I should be preserving the peace that I have within myself. I should protect my bubble. I was not thinking that because I was like, these are my friends. Like, at the end of the day, I didn't care. And so in this case with friends, it's like they will talk so much shit about you and they will say so much stuff for everybody to be against you. And it gets in your head and you react in some sort of way to them, to the things that they're saying, to things that other people are telling you. And so in this case, I wasn't protecting my bubble. I was letting the things that people were telling me, mess with my head, and it got into my bubble and I let it go through me because it was my choice. I didn't have to let it go through me, but I did because I was weak. You need to be strong enough to let these people and the things that they're saying not affect you. Not necessarily affect you, but not let it show, not let it show on the outside to them so they feel like they have power. Because whenever you react to those people, whenever you react to things that people are saying, it makes them feel powerful because they know that the things that they're saying, they know that the hurtful things that they're saying is getting in your head. And you choose to react to that and you choose to let those hurtful things come into you. Same thing with, influencers. They let those hurtful comments get into them and it's attacking their bubble. They're not preserving their peace. But it's also because they don't want to, they don't choose to, and they're not strong enough. Because you need to be strong as hell to not let the things that people are telling you affect you as a person. And like the next day you're able to do the same thing you were doing yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. It's a constant pattern. It can't be, one day I'm not going to let this happen. One day I'm going to let this happen. One day I'm not. Like, no, it needs to be consistent. Once you say I'm not going to let it happen, it won't happen. I swear to you now that whenever people tell me things and when people try to hurt me, I'm like, okay, and like, if you have a problem with me, get out of my way. Like, I'm not going to let the hurtful things and the hurtful comments and the hatefulness get to me because at the end of the day, I don't give a shit. I don't care at all. Sorry, I'm cursing. I'm just like, this topic is like very, very like big to me and everybody needs to know this because protect Preserve your peace, guys. Preserve your peace, please. Because you don't want to end up like me, or not even just me. You don't want to end up like a lot of people on this earth where, you know, they are so down. They have no motivation because other people are bringing them down, like bullies. I used to be bullied in middle school. I let those bullies get in my head and they mess with me because, one, I was young, I was immature, and I was weak. Very weak, and I didn't understand the meaning of this. That I need to protect, and I need to, you know, protect the bubble, protect me as a person, and understand that just because these people are saying hurtful comments doesn't mean that I have to listen to them. They can keep talking their smack, but I don't have to listen to them. Because I choose the things that I want to hear from other people. They don't choose the things that I want to hear. So if they choose to talk a whole bunch of smack about you, if they choose to, you know, involve them in their stuff, if you choose to involve yourself in those things, that's your fault. That's your fault because you're not protecting yourself. You're not protecting the bubble that you have around you. And that's on you. So you cannot blame that on anybody else. People are always going to be hateful at the end of the day. People are always going to have stuff to tell you. You cannot stop those people from doing that because that's who they are. You can't stop them from being like that. It's their personality. But it is your job to not let those hateful comments get into you because it really fucks with your head. Like, I promise you, from you listening to these people, you will get so depressed to the point where you can't do anything. I was like that once. I was like that with my parents. Not necessarily them talking smack to me, but them and their situations. It messed with my head. I wasn't protecting the bubble around me. And I got into a really deep depression. And it hurt me because I couldn't do anything for a really, really long time. And they didn't see that because they were so caught up on the issues that they had. They weren't realizing that I was going through things. And I had to deal with things on my own. And constantly, them going through stuff, them, you know, fighting, arguing, I would always be brought into that situation. And I let them do that. I wasn't protecting my peace. I wasn't preserving my peace. And that's where you guys need to be careful because you do not want to end up in a situation like that. Maybe your situation is not as bad. Maybe your situation is really, really bad. But I'm telling you, like, you really have to sit there and look at yourself and tell yourself you're strong enough. Like, you can do this. Stop letting these hateful people, stop letting these people tell you these things, these hateful comments, because it's rude, it's disrespectful. You should not be letting somebody disrespect you as a person. And if they do, let them go. They're doing nothing to you. Are they bringing any value to you? No, absolutely not. So drop them. Drop them to the floor. To the floor. To the floor. Yes. I always used to be like a super insecure person. And I always let people's comments about me, oh, you don't have this, oh, you don't have this, oh, you're fat. That, like, and I used to let it get to me. I used to let it fuck with my head. And I used to be really, really sad about it. And I literally, like, it was bad, you know. And I would let those people, those hurtful comments get into my head until I grew up. And I was like, bro, nah, like, I'm beautiful. I'm a beautiful woman. I'm going to be an amazing person. You're just hating. Like, you think that affects me? Absolutely not. Promise you it's not affecting me because I can literally care less. And I want you guys to be like that. I want you to have a freaking careless, like, head, like a careless mind. Because why? For what should I care for? Are you adding anything to my life? Are you my friend? Are you my family? No. So get away from me. Okay? That's that. Like, you know, it's difficult. I understand that. You know, I learned it a hard way. I did learn it a really, really, really hard way. And people have seen my journey. People have seen how much I've grown. And I'm so happy within myself that now that, you know, I've become the person that I am now. Not saying that I'm an amazing person because I'm far, far, far from that. But a good person, a good human being. And I'm just trying to save you guys, you know, spare you guys a little bit of time. Stop letting people mess with your head. Stop letting people mess with you in the first place. Like, what are they doing for you? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Same thing like in my last episode about my ex-best friend. What the hell was she doing to me? Nothing. Was she giving me any value? Was she adding anything to the plate? No. So why are you letting these people say all this rude, disrespectful things to you and you accepting it? Because that's not who you are. You know who you are. You know who you are at the end of the day because no one knows you like you do. And understand that these hurtful things that people are saying, or maybe the situations that you're being brought into, for example, my parents, that this is not who you are. You're not going to be here to, you know, hear these disrespectful things that people are telling you and just, you know, being brought into situations that you do not need to be in because you are so young. Like, it's not for you. It's not. You're not supposed to be in this. You're not supposed to be going through this. And you just need to stop. Completely just stop. Because no. Like, I'm sorry, but no. I know I'm a little bit loud in this podcast today, but like, seriously, guys, like, preserve your peace. Please. Literally just preserve your peace. Alright? Alright. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry I'm being a little bit loud today. I just had to. Like, I had to. I need to get my point across. I need you guys to literally listen to me and believe in the things that I'm saying, because everything that I say is right. Everything that I say in all my videos, I'm freaking right. Alright, guys. Well, I think this is going to be the end of my video because I've been talking for way too damn long. I think I'm going to just leave it. I'm gonna just leave it here. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys for just subscribing, you know, clicking the post notifications button, you know, just watching my videos, liking my videos, commenting. Like, deep down, like, I really do appreciate that. You know, this is something I've been wanting to do for so long, and I'm just so happy that I am able to do it. I have the ability to do it, and I'm just so grateful for that. All right, everybody. Well, this is going to be the end of my video, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and watch out for next week's freaking video. And one last thing, don't forget to listen, to heal, and to overcome. I love you all.